Okay, so we're going to talk about foot posturing and how it pertains to exercises and one versus two-legged movements. So we already talked about what pronation means. What pronation looks like in standing is knees and feet rotated inwards and a collapsing of the arch. So anytime you're standing with your knees together or sitting with your knees together, your arch will always be collapsed or pronated. And when we supinate our arch, we contract our glute muscles or tighten our butt cheeks, and it relatively will open our arch and create some space underneath there. Now when we look at a sit to stand movement, this can become evident. So when I'm in a sitting position, my knees will be apart over my feet, my arches will be relatively open. Now if my knees come together as I stand up, we call that pronation, which will cause a collapsing of our arches. What we want to see is that our knees stay apart and our arches stay open as we stand up and down, especially as we sit back down. That's a tougher movement where we tend to come in with our knees. We want to keep our knees apart, arches stable. Now when it comes to one-legged exercises, I'm going to have you zoom in and take a look at my foot now, is you can apply this to things like sit to stand or some of the cable exercises we would do, where when you're on one leg, what we want to think about is trying to keep our butt cheeks squeezed and our arch supinated. Now, you're going to want to always go inwards, but what you want to do is, just like posture, you want to think about keeping your arch upwards. Now, that becomes a lot more difficult, and you have to engage your abs when it comes to leg movements. Once again, here's I'm supinated, here I'm pronated. Now, a supinated foot is a stable foot, so when it comes to falls, balance prevention, those kind of things, you want to practice these principles in terms of opening up your arch by contracting your glutes when it comes to exercises and day-to-day balance activities that you do.